All right, let's see. Anthony, what's happening, man? You're number one. Awesome. Rex, hello, hello. 2 to the 11th power. Ooh, you've got some mathematicians here. Subject that I never really felt comfortable with. I have this joke with my best friend who's very good at maths. The last time I stopped studying maths was when I started to, or at school I think, we started to learn about the quadratic formula. So I'm always like teasing myself and I'm like, you know, the quadratic formula of whatever, you know, to me that's the the elite level mathematician, you know. But I'm sure there are many other formulas that are much more difficult than the quadratic formula, which, to be honest with you, I don't even know what the quadratic formula actually means. It's been so long ago, but that was the last time I stopped maths. You can't believe that you talked about that. Perfect timing, Anthony, you know, perfect timing. The universe lined us up perfectly. You were on and I came on and here we are. How are you, Anthony? What's going on? What are you doing right now? Oh, man. I'm going to do a few sets of these. I'm going to try some bench. I'm like trying all these different things now with bench press because it's not going so well. I'm using the time now until I fully recover back to my strength. I'm just experimenting. So I haven't tried this before bench yet. Elbows out. Suster98, what's happening, man? How are you, dude? How is the sound, by the way, fellas? I've been messing around with this thing in hopes of doing something positive. All right, let's get another set. Oh, man. Eating breakfast after missing out on 100 Navy SEAL burpees in 20 minutes by 2. 98 was hard as fuck. Don't know where the other 2 are going to come from. Wow, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of burpees. Wow. I don't think I could do that, no way. Rix, oh, pleasure to hear, man. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. U2 says, do you have any advice on how to mix Muay Thai into my weekly training 4 times, upper and lower? Oh, goodness. That is very, very difficult, man. I've never really done Muay Thai or any really martial arts. So I don't really know what's involved. How many times a week do you do Muay Thai? I mean, I've had some guys in my life who did a bit of Muay Thai. A security guard at work, and by the sounds of it, that's a lot, man. Actually, no, there was also a nurse. What am I saying? There was a guy I used to work with that was like professional level, basically. He had multiple bouts, multiple fights. And that seemed like it was a full-time job, man. Like that was a lot of training. So like with anything, it just depends. It depends on how much you're putting, how many hours you're putting into that. Obviously, if that's your primary thing, then you got to be careful about the lifting that you do. And the lifting that you do needs to be very, very well thought about, because you don't want that thing to impact, you know, the Muay Thai. And David says, hello, Ivan. I'm most certainly a human and definitely not an AI. I'm doing well, my man. How are you? Another David says, back day done here. 10 out of 10 pain while wiping. Success. Oh, goodness. Why do we do this to each other, huh? To ourselves, rather. Painful existence, this training. Let me get rid of this chewing gum. Let me get rid of all of these chewing gums. Look at that. 1,000 bloody chewing gums. Let me chuck this away, fellas. Give me a sec. I say to myself every bloody day, I'm going to get rid of these chewing gums. I only recently started chewing gum after not doing chewing gum for many years. But I only do it for a little bit. It's apparently good for your whatever, mouth and dental care and all that stuff, whatever. I went to the dentist recently. I chipped one of my teeth. I've got like so many bloody fillings in my mouth, and apparently if you don't have fluoride in your water when you're a kid, it kind of predisposes you to a lot of caries. I think that's what they call them, caries or cavities or whatever you want to call them. And so basically all of my family's got shitty teeth. Do another set here. This is very light, sets of 30. Just to warm up the upper back before bench. Oh, man. Big day done. Oh, you like the new clips, Oster? Well, I'm glad to hear that. You know, ever since I started doing these lives and doing these clips, I've had a lot of feedback, as you guys can see in the comments, from all sorts of people. You know, a lot of people have opinions about my stance, which is absolutely perfectly fine. But I think the large portion of people that are commenting read the title and then they just drop a comment and run. I don't think some of these people are even watching the videos. You know, so things like that video that I made about, you know, what do I call it? Fat shaming is okay. That title actually comes from somebody else in the chat that said fat shaming is okay. So I put that as a title, and in the video, I actually talk about that fat shaming is not what I would call it. I would call it not accepting fat. Shaming is not something that I ever do to anybody in my life. But this idea of accepting, you know, body image or what do they call it? You can be healthy at any size. I completely reject that. Do I go around the street and I point my fingers around everyone and blah, 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 do that? No, I don't. I don't shame anybody. So when I make these videos, I'm like telling you how I feel internally about the situation of obesity and overweight and 2/3 of the planet being overweight. And then people come down and they're like, oh, you know, Ivan is a fat shamer. That's unacceptable. You're a bully. It's like, what? Which is fine. I don't expect people to watch the video. I expect most people to rage. I expect most people to go into the comments and say their 2 cents. That's all perfectly fine. Each to their own opinion. Same thing that goes for Andrew Tate. You know, I made a comment that there's a lot of stuff that Andrew Tate says that I agree with. Without a doubt, I'm not apologetic about that at all. And you can get your panties twisted as much as you want, but that's how I feel. But there's many things that I also disagree with, absolutely. His views on women, and apparently, I mean, I don't know too much about it, but apparently what he did, you know, with pimping or whatever you want to call it, obviously I don't stand with that. The things that I stand with are things like, you know, the masculinity. Every man should be in shape. Every man should strive to be, you know, work towards these metrics, you know, and feeds into the idea of, you know, it's unacceptable to have obesity in your life. That is something that you have to fix, and he speaks volumes about that. That resonates with me. Whether you like it or not, that absolutely resonates with me. And obviously a lot of his views on, you know, the world, the political side of things, you know, how a lot of the money is concentrated to very few people, you know, wars, politics around the wars, some of the families that are really worth a lot of money in this world, controlling a lot of the stuff that happens at the political level and at the national level, and controlling a lot of these so-called presidents and prime ministers, which turn out to be essentially bloody puppets to some of the big industries in the world. But anyway, so there's a lot of stuff that I agree with when it comes to that. And there's a lot of social views that I just frankly agree. Like, I think we are getting soft. I think religion is decaying. And I think because of all of that, I think we're seeing that degeneracy is at its absolute premium high right now. If you disagree with those views, then all the best to you, man. Like, we don't have to agree. But to say, oh, yeah, okay, so Ivan loves Andrew Tate's every opinion. And to that I say, my friend, if my brother was here, we would find differences with me and him. And we grew up in the same bloody household with exactly the same parents. I do not agree with everything he says, but anyway, whatever. And to this, like I said in one of the comments, some of these people that are saying, how can you say that about Andrew Tate? Like, you can't pick and choose what people say. Oh, really now? So these same people, hypocrites, right, who say you can't say anything that Andrew Tate has to say, but they will go into their car and listen to Snoop Dogg, listen to 50 Cent, listen to Tupac, Dr. Dre, The Game. They will listen to all of this music, and the dudes are literally, so Andrew Tate, in my opinion, in my understanding, he's been to court and he's been not made guilty. He hasn't been found guilty of any of these charges, right, pimping or whatever. But here is a guy who on track says to you, I am a pimp, right? But these same people will, you know, look up to these guys like, oh my God, great musician, great this, great that. There are many people in this world who are doing very, very bad things and have done bad things. And so your logic doesn't make sense there, because you listen to the music of Snoop Dogg, who literally says to you he's a pimp and he sold drugs at a street corner, right? So convicted or not convicted, the man is telling you this is what I've done. But Andrew Tate's evil because he's been charged with some things and he's been made like not guilty of those. Whatever. If he has, that's trash. Trash of a human being, without a doubt. Like those of you that know me and watch the channel for a little while and that know what I stand for, obviously. I'm a father of a daughter. I'm a girl dad. I've got 2 sons. Dude, like I'm a family model man. Like I'm a family man. I stand by that. But I just find it interesting how you're telling me that I can't pick and choose of what people say. Well, how come you listen to some of the music that some of these guys? I don't see you talking about that. And I've made comments about Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson is an absolute savage of athleticism, of fitness. For many years, I've respected his boxing. He's one of my favorite boxers. Oh, guess what? He's also been a rapist and he's been to jail and he's done all this sort of stuff. He's domestic violence. But dude, I'm not marrying the guy, dude. I don't want a relationship with him. I like him as a fighter. As a fighter. Like I look up to his athletic performance in the gym. In the ring, right? That's what I'm. But okay, oh, so Mike Tyson's okay, but Andrew Tate isn't. So I can't say Mike Tyson's 2,000 bodyweight squats and 2,000 push-ups a day. I can't speak about that because he's a rapist. There are many people that are absolute trash in their personal lives, but they say good things. Mike Tyson is one of the greatest boxers ever, if not one of the greatest. maybe Muhammad Ali, maybe Mayweather somewhere there, then Mike Tyson, right? Some of these guys, right? And so I find it really, really interesting that these people will attack me for saying this. Let's go beyond, right? Churchill. Let's talk about Churchill, right? Depends on which side of the history you are. This man has said so many good things. So many quotes have come out of this man. But if you're on the other side of history and you're the side where Churchill is deploying his troops and killing everyone, Churchill might be a very, very evil man to the other side of that war. And so to me, it's like, what I can't say that Andrew Tate has some really good things to say about certain topics because he's got this shady thing, which he's never been convicted of, by the way, like 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg and all of these other guys. So to me, it's like, I don't understand the criticism. And maybe these people that are saying this stuff have never seen me. Maybe the algorithm is taking some of these videos to corners of the internet that it's never listened to me. And they're like, oh, this guy put a title that says he's a fat shamer and he loves these rapists. I encourage you to watch the video to its full length before making some of these comments. And I don't even know why that triggered me, what you said there, about the comments or whatever, but I just find it really interesting how people pick and choose and what they want to say. And then straight after my video, they're going to put on In the Club by 50 Cent and rock to it and be like, yeah, that's awesome. Literally, the man has been selling drugs since he was 10 years old. But culture doesn't reject him like it's rejecting some of these other folk. I find it really interesting, that's all. And I find it interesting that you can't say anything about anyone because somebody has had some negative thing happen in their life. Of course, dude, like I said, I'm a father of a daughter. Of course, I don't agree with Andrew Tate's views on marriage and all of this sort of stuff and how you treat women and lock them up in the kitchen to raise kids and all that stuff. Obviously, I don't agree with this shit. But in terms of his views on how men should behave and how they should take care of themselves, how they should fight to get ahead in life, the discipline, the mentality, his views on like being mentally strong, what is wrong with all those things? What is wrong with the idea of like rejecting, going to war and dying for somebody else's political agenda? What's happening all around the world. Like I'm against war, right? And it sounds like he is as well. Am I an autobiographer of Andrew Tate? No, I'm not. I'm not speaking, dude, I don't know the guy, man. Like, I don't know the guy. I'm referring to the fitness ideas and some of the things that he said about people being overweight. If you notice that those videos have come from the same line of thinking, same video, the fat shaming and the masculinity. And so, in my eyes, that makes sense. But anyway, whatever. I'll probably make a clip of this as well, and people are going to be like, oh, how can you say that, whatever. I'm very well aware that I should probably never touch on religion. I should never touch on politics. I should never touch a lot of these things. And to be honest with you, I don't care. Like, I'm 36 years old, dude. I don't really care about pleasing other people. I'm going to be true to myself. I always have been. The only difference is now we're doing these lives, and so I don't control the content that I make because I'm just chilling out with you guys and you guys asking questions and I'm being truthful about what I say. But there seems to be a lot of different people on the internet with a lot of different, positions on the political spectrum, which is absolutely fine. We're not going to agree on everything. But putting words in somebody else's mouth, I don't rock with that. Just because I say something here, that doesn't mean automatically I'm lined up with 1,000 different characteristics of a person that said the original thing. Whatever, each to their own. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, that's for sure. Oh, man. Oh my God, so many comments. New clips are you posting? Oh yeah, Susta, that's what got me thinking. You said you like the clips that I'm posting. Hello, my brother of the iron. It's good to catch up. Hey, Yeltsin, what's up, man? Great work. Stevan and Serbia, my man, back on the grind. You're going to watch Nola play tonight. It's going to be too late, Stevan. I've got to early get up tomorrow morning. Sounds like over here they're going to start playing at bloody midnight or maybe 1 o'clock. I won't be able to watch it, but as soon as I get up tomorrow morning, I'll be definitely tuning in. Shit, they might be still playing by then. You know, I'll get up at 5:45 in the morning. But hopefully he beats him, but I don't know. Sinner is a beast, man. Richard says, underhand is nice and hits the back different. More mid-back than upper. Try it sometime if you're interested, bro. Yeah, I tried it a little bit a few days ago. The reason I'm doing it this way now is just purely for before bench. I want to warm up the back. I thought I'd try this instead of doing the lateral raises just to change it up a little bit to see how the bench feels. David, Sister, maybe you could put these titles in quote marks, then people might think you're giving your take on the quote instead of being yours and people getting mad at you without watching. Sister 98, like, look, I'm not very concerned about people not watching the video and raging. Honestly, I don't lose sleep over people that don't give you the time of day. Look, if you're going to comment on something that you have no knowledge about, then you're not very credible in your words. And a lot of these people that are doing this stuff are not watching, which is fine. And look, you know, as you grow older in your life, some of you guys might attest to this, you're going to have to learn to listen and to look into different opinions. And if you get emotionally triggered every single time you hear something that doesn't align with your ideas, and you rage quit or you rage trigger and whatever, that is a sign of immaturity. I think you will more and more often make contact with people that are not aligned with your views. And you need to be mature about it and listen to that point of view. And then once they've finished giving their point of view, you make a conclusion. But this rapid fire, Ivan is a wife basher and he's this, he's that. Oh my goodness, dude. Have a bit more maturity, man. Like, seriously. Have you ever recorded a squat every day on virtually 0 hours of sleep? No, I don't think so. Never. Or maybe I have once after a night shift. If it is one, it's probably just 1 or 2. Like, I don't think I've done it many times at all. E36 is here. What's up, man? Has anybody ever told you look like a cross between Bill Cosby and Jared from Subway? Do you get that a lot? I never. David says the game was sick though. 50 is great. I like your views, man. Separate the art from the artist. There you go, Rix. Makes sense. 50 Cent. Ivan, you're a man of character. People are going to misread your ideas or jump to conclusions. Humanity's wrote about this for thousands of years. Keep going. You're good for people. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that. And Richard, you've been watching me for many years. You know where I come from. You know what I stand for. You've listened to my ideas and my videos for many, many years. And so you have a good grasp of who I am as a human being. And so, but a lot of people are not going to give that time, which is absolutely fine. But this is the thing, you know. A lot of people live this life without ever saying, you know, or supporting anything in their life in the fear of backlash, which is also fine. But, you know, when you do state your opinion, you might get some love and you'll get equal hate. That's just the way it is. And so me honestly answering some of these questions and ideas that I have, I absolutely will never please everybody with my ideas. And that is just part of the process of doing this. Pragmatic Duck says, hey brother, I think this is a cultural thing these days. People want black and white. This is right, this is wrong. They can't handle the gray. I think you're right. Yeah. Like I said, you know, it comes with maturity as well. You know, that life is much more complex than either you hate Andrew Tate or you love Andrew Tate. I don't do any of that. You know, I love some of his ideas and I hate some of his ideas. Where does that put me? How do you put somebody in a box after doing that? There's very few people in this world that I love. You know, I'll tell you a story, dude. Like, me and my mate, we used to follow the NBA all the time. And he loved Tracy McGrady. I loved Peja Stojakovic. I loved all of these characters. And we were kids when we were watching this. And, you know, we've grown up. We've got a family of our own. We've got kids and whatever. We're doing all this stuff. And I'll never forget when my mate George, he was like, you know, we're now grown men, so now we know what these people are about. And the first time he heard Tracy McGrady talk, he was like gobsmacked, right? Like he was like, oh my God, like I thought this man was something else. Like he thought that these NBA players were like intelligent, well-read and all this stuff. And he was like really gobsmacked to kind of, in his own mature mind now, to think, oh my Lord, this guy's not what I thought he was. When I was a kid, I used to think he was a hero. But now that I'm an adult and I'm kind of seeing him for what he is and his ideas, it's kind of a different thing, right? So there's very few people in this world that you're going to fully align and love. I mean, the people that I love are probably there. And then that's it. Jeste čo? Kuda daš krenut sad? Kuda daš krenut? Malo tu da. So basically what I'm saying is you're not going to find too many people in life that you're going to 100% agree with. Those things are rare. And so I agree with some things and I disagree with others. Simple as that. Puno komentara, Mićo, puno komentara. Je, piče. Jeste okej? Jesi? Je. Super. Ja ću malo ovoga, pa onda bench press.
Sad ne snimaš audio sam, ne?
Audio je tu, ovdje.
A je snima?
Da. Vidjet ćemo večeras, možemo gledati zajedno. Nisam ti pokazao, brate, neki dan kad sam ti pričao, nisam ti pokazao, možeš sa dvema rukama raditi oba. Samo uzmeš ono kajši. Ja sinoć se sjetio i rekao, fuck, nisam. A uzmeš dva? Pa i to može. A može sa jednim možeš raditi isto. Ne znam, nisam ti pokazao to. Sa jednim, ali dve ruke. Možeš i tako.
Sad mogu dosta više raditi.
Ja to vidiš. Ti 12 kila radiš koliko će, jel?
12, ja.
Eto vidiš. Brzo to krene kad kreneš.
Izgledao sam 10 dolara.
Kako?
Spao mi žep.
Ej, jebi.
U
novčaniku?
Pošao kočeka da mu napravim sve.
I nemaš kusu?
Ne. Kaže, koliko sam dužan, ako ništa ne mora. Uzmi kuću, pare, ispali. Nisu kod njega, znao sam.
Dobar čovjek, nije ono... Imaš mjesta, možeš.
Ovo ću malo krenuti.
A? Malo se, ne možeš tamo proći, jebi ga, znaš.
Dobro si.
Šta znam? Pravit ću još tu rasporeda, ne znam kako. Više da okrenem. David says, 50 grew up in Southside Queens and lost his mother early on. Yeah, I remember watching the movie for 50 Cent and like all that stuff. I know his mom wasn't, she was off the street as well, apparently. Found out yesterday, Nasser El Sanbati had a Yugoslavian mum. Nasser El Sonbati. Nasser El Sonbati had a Yugoslavian mum. Intelligent man, maybe Yugoslavia was a factor. Big roider, obviously. Oh, okay, bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Nasser.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Bosnian?
Ne znam.
Ne znaš.
Nije Bosna. On je neki stranac koji živio kod nas.
A mama mu Jugoslavijan kad je.
Je huge čovjek.
Anthony says, I think it's wise to give Tate a massive swerve. Well, Anthony, like I said to you before, like I don't know everything about him, but like I said, there are things that he says that I agree with. So it is what it is. I don't know. David M says he made it out of the hood and never looked back. Read his book and his book that he co-authored with Robert Greene. There you go. Thud says, hey, morning Ivan, keep it up, bro. Been reading some of these comments on the videos, absolute twats who can't see further than their nose or haven't watched you for a minute and loved all that content that you've been putting out. Appreciate that, man. I think that's part of the problem. People are not, watching the videos through, read the comment, read the title, and they just go crazy. And for those people, there's no point arguing. You've noticed, like, I haven't been responding to a lot of the comments. There is literally no point. Like, why should I give my time to somebody that is criticizing me without even watching the video? What am I supposed to say to them? I'm not going to get into an argument with them in the comments. You do whatever you want, man. Patrick, I would say you're doing those warm-up rows just a tad bit too fast. Oh, okay, Patrick. Maybe I could slow it down. Good work, mate. Keep it up, Ivan. You're goated. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Znaš što sam radio neko večer, man. Skoro full step, man. Ojačao sam, brale. I try to go a little bit slower there. Kaže ovaj momak da uspori malo rows. Malo sam usporio. Oh, man. Da otvorim malo garažu ili ne? Je dobro? Meni je dobro, rekao, imam, ti si i go skoro jevi. Henry says, keep it up. David says, my diminutive gym bro just mogged me in the ATG squat. Think to smash high rep body weight volume to try to catch him up. Hey man, body weight squats I'm a big fan. Absolutely, it's going to benefit you, man. Fit at 60 says, talk a little bit about health implications of powerlifting. Lee Haney says long-term heavy lifting will take its toll. I think powerlifting is not a long-term good idea. Fit at 60, dude, like Lee Haney is probably not the right person to listen to because all of these people are taking truckload of drugs. I don't think the actual lifting is the problem, it's the drugs, man. These people are abusing the shit out of their body, man. Like, I don't think that's all very healthy. But I'll never say exercise in general is negative, no matter how you do it. If you do it in a healthy manner and you're not taking all these crazy supplements, that's not too bad. I think it's net positive. 36 says, I used to do some sets of calf raises before bench. Felt kind of good. Opposite, huh? Alan says, what do you think about the uprising in nationalism of the Balkan countries, Croatia, Serbia, and Bosnia? How can the same people that speak the same language hate each other so much? The fella in the back of the video probably knows way more about this than me. He grew up over there. But I don't think that people hate each other, man. I don't think it's like that. I don't know how much you know about the history of that part of the world, but it's been described as a hot pot. There's a lot of different religions there, a lot of different tensions, a lot of different outside influence. And, tensions rise. But yeah, I don't really know how to answer that, man. I don't know much about increasing nationalism recently. I know Serbia is not having a great time right now with all the protests and whatever. So protests još idu, jel? Yeah. Protests are still happening, so there's a lot of unrest over there. So I don't know much, man. Hey man, just gotta say, I got a lot of respect for you from Belize. Have you ever met anyone from here? No. Rix, I don't think I've ever met anybody from there. Stevan in Serbia says, religion, 3 different paths to the same God. Rips people apart. Yeah. The crisis of Yugoslavia in the late 80s also provoked a wave of strikes. Hundreds of thousands of workers were on strike by 1990, so local ruling class played the nationalist card. Tudjman in Croatia, Izata Begovic in Bosnia, and Milosevic in Serbia may have all been rivals, but they had common purpose: to drown the class struggle in ethnic conflict. Well, I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff there to be said, man. What caused the war, what didn't, I don't really know. Probably a lot of outside influence. You know. Seems like whatever America touches goes to crap. I don't know. It's always between Russia and America, wherever the conflict is. It's always these 2 big players. Ben Cousins probably didn't do exercise correctly. You're going to Croatia in a month. Nice. Destitute. Hello, Ivan. Hello, Destitute. Destitute. Ok, one more. Pa ne znam ništa ja, vidiš, ja moram u politici pričati. Ne znam ništa. Probam da izbjegavam, ali šta ću ja? Šta god kažeš, neko će se naljutiti. Kako god okreneš. To je politika. Neš nikad naći 100% ljudi da svi se... Nema veze koja je tema, jebi. Nemoguće. Oh, man. Okay, that's it. Now bench press. A? A što? Ne znam, nija, man. Otkad sam se razbolio, jako sam slab, man. Izgubio sam sigurno 20%, ja ne znam šta je to, čovječe.
Možda više?
Ne mogu, inače mogu 23 sa 100 kila izbaciti. Bez problema, a sad jedva dođem do 20. Katastrofa, man. Nemaš vode, nisi ponio vode, donim sam vode. Ovi gdje si išao sad?
Iskopčali kabel iz...
To je to.
Vodena. I onda došao tamo na CCTV kompjuter. Tražim, šta je, tražim. Pa kad nije online, kako je ko fajn? Ja rekao, jeste kabel?
I pao, sve, jel?
Ma jo.
Samo,
Internet kabel
da.
isključen.
Je.
Ode tamo ispod ono kabel visi. Evo, rekao, ključite ljude, ključne i gotovo.
I to je to, sad. Eto vidiš. Stari ljudi ili kako?
Mojo. Već, tičić, radi još.
Aha. Napad. Uzmi onaj drugi tega da bude isti ako hoš. Onaj tamo na rovu. Ako ne znam kako hoš. Jedino tako. Ako šiš na rovu, onda uzmi drugi, mislim. Samo da... Ja isto kažem da ista marka. On su svi malo naš.
Isti balans.
Mhm.
Ista je kilaža, ali nije isto.
Da. Pa nisi držao u novčaniku, jel?
Ja imao samo $100 keša
Da,
i otišao sam im drugu na ručak
da.
i platio 30 ručak i ostalo mi 70 stavio mi u back pocket,
Da.
a tu stavim i telefon, a ovaj telefon
A,
gumenas.
da, isto ko moja ona je.
Kako sam ga izradio?
Ispalo.
100%. Ne može drugo. Ja sam mislio da je kod njega ispalo kod ovog čovjeka. Ali nije, sad sam ga zvao, kaže on najsnarniji.
Sigurno neko će naći.
Pa ispod auta bi bilo, možda neko prošao i uzeo.
Da.
Je li ovo Andrej? Je li ovo Andrej ili Zlatan?
To je Zlatan.
Vidim da si bio mlad.
Stara slika to, man.
Vidim da si bio mlad.
Da. Neki dan sjedimo, gledamo te...
I sad si ti mlad.
Da. Bio sam mlađi. Hoš moći da sfotujem?
Ajde, stavi.
Ne znam, hoš moći proći, da.
Mogu da bi opet 5 ako budemo. Jel lak da stavim ovaj ovdje?
Ja inače, u sve kako hoćeš. Ili ovako, kako hoćeš.
Ajde, stavit ću ovaj sređen.
Ajde, probaj. Dobar, jak si. To. Super. Super.
Samo se zagrije.
Da. Aha, viš kako si brzo ojačao. Nerve se probule, znaš. To je pola jačine, nerve, probudi se.
Da.
I to nisi ti ne bil daš ti od početka, ti si već imao to nekada.
Ne mora.
Razumiješ? Sve to ima svoje.
Da, ali ali stare ti kosti.
Pa da, jest.
Nije isto. Nije isto držati u zglobu sad 60 i nekad 100.
Da.
Sad je teško.
Sve to, ligamenti, tendoni, sve.
Kosti.
Da, sve ima to svoje, što kaže. Hello, Ivan posted. Hey, what's up, man? Alan says, do you think the Abrahamic religions have made Europe less European? I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you, Alan. All right, because a lot of the... I think what you're referring to is that there's a lot of Islam in Europe now. Is that what you mean? Immigration? Maybe that's what you mean. I don't, but that's always going to be the case, right? Like people are always going to be mixed, what's it called? Globalism is always going to be, not globalism, what's it called? Yeah, globalism, like spread of people. If you fast forward 1,000 years, everyone's going to be mixed with everyone. Like it's going to be just one race. It's going to be just one color, basically. If you give enough time, there's not going to be so much segregation. Like we'll probably develop planes that we can fly across to America in like 5 minutes. Who knows what the future holds? As technology expands, we're going to be more and more mixable. Actually, that feels actually really good. Bit of back work before bench press. Dad, are you talking about paganism? Yeah, I don't know. Nisi radio danas, nisi? Deo, jel? Je, super. Lijepo je raditi 4 dana termično, jel? Puno ljepše. Inače, vikend je stalno pun sat.
Treba mi par, ali...
O, nije sve u tome, je.
Nije.
Daleko.
Da mi baš bude trebalo.
Da, o, apsolutno. A i možeš i te privatne poslove isto.
Pa ne.
Jel ima toga puno? Nema.
Slabo je sad, hoće Kevinova čerka da radi kamere, pa...
Da.
Dao sam im cijelu kao javač.
Da.
I mislim da će uzeti sigurno.
Da.
Mislim da je nešto puno dao.
Nikad neš biti bez posla, to je ta cijela industrija oko te kamera i security.
Da.
Thoughts on replacing barbell bench with dumbbell bench. I made the switch about a year and a half ago. Hard to progress with strength, but my stabilizers are stronger for sure. Yeah, Stefan, the thing with the dumbbells is that it changes the movement, right? Like you get really good with dumbbells, but it might not necessarily change over to the barbell. And for me, the barbell is like the ultimate. Like I really want to be strong with the barbell. The dumbbell kind of makes it a bit more shoulder and tricep heavy, in my experience. I could be wrong on that. But the barbell bench is a little bit different. I've seen a lot of people be really good with dumbbells and not translating it to the other way around. I feel like if you do the opposite, it's probably correct. Barbell bench does carry over. Hoćeš? Sigurno?
Pa ne moram, 3-4.
Da. Ajde ti pa ja. Ne treba, brate. 22, malo bolje, ali...
100 kg.
Da.
To je to.
Pre par sedmica sam radio 100 kila po 3 seta 23. Sad mogu nijedan izbaciti 23, jebate.
Mogu još jedan.
Bilo bi za glavu se.
Ja sam isto radio 7.
O, tu vidiš. Koliko si prvi put?
Sad.
O, to vidiš.
Ovo ću opet.
Super.
Uvijek probam isto da uradim.
Nekada prvi set je najgoriji.
Ne, da će me zakljeti.
Da, čudno. When did I first SBD 140, 100, 180? Oh, man. Probably 10 years ago. Maybe like 3 years into training, something like that. Yeah. But it took me a long while to go from 180 to 200 on the deadlift. I remember that. That was a very long trip. Ivan, do you mix any running in with your lifting? Not much for the sake of being a runner, but for overall health and longevity. No, not really, not currently. I did mess around with running a few weeks ago, for only about a week, before I got the hip machines, and I only started running so I can target the lateral hip. But not really, man. Because I train so often and I lift high repetition, I feel like my heart rate goes up and my breathing goes up, as you can hear it now. I'm not a marathon runner, obviously, but I think it's keeping me fairly fit. Obviously, I could not run a lot now, but Okay, that sounds about right because my barbell bench is lower than my dumbbell press. Yeah, the barbell bench is weird, right? Because it forces you into a certain bar path. It forces you, whereas the dumbbell will make you go wherever you're strong. Alan says, my question was based on the idea that there is such a thing as distinct European identity or culture, and I think the Abrahamic religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam have changed it. I don't quite understand that, man, because I thought Christianity has been in Europe since Rome, right? Like, that's a long time. Are you talking about Europe before Rome, or I don't quite understand it? Europe was Christian since Rome, right? Ne znam. Upal svjetla, viš mrak, nisam primijetio. Odmah kamera se učuti. Svidio, Denver Nuggets su dobili trade, svidio? Onaj Valančunis nešto zjebava, ali izgleda da će, onaj Valančunis, što za njega?
Nije htio s Jokićem nešto, šta?
Pa, Denver Nuggets su ga tradovali, dali su onoga Šarića, su tradovali u Sacramento, da, i dobili su onog Valančunisa. A Valančunis sad hoće da se vrati u Evropu, hoće da igra za Panathinaikos. I oni ga ditlali, a Denver ima kontrakt njegov sad. I on kažu, ne da on pustimo. Moraš igrati svoj kontrakt, 2 godine ima na kontrakt. Ili godinu, tako nešto. 1 godina.
Nije free.
Tako da malo ima tu frke. Ja ne znam je li se on sa Jokićom nekako posađao. Šta ja znam. Znam svaki put kad Jokić igra protiv njega, on je isto mrcina. Ne može ga Jokić brzo naš. Ovo je mrcino čovjeka. Litvanac, brate, oni su jebeni, oni su pravo dobri igrači.
Pa ne znam što nije htio. Možda misli da neće imati place.
Pa bit će second centar za Denver, neće igrati jebi ga kao prvak. Pa u stvari on nije ni igrao kao prvi centar par godina već više nije.
Možda on hoće da bude kao prvi centar.
Hoće da bude.
Sedi na klupi, ko zna. Pustit će ga u Evropu.
Agenat kaže da hoće da se vrati u Evropu, da bude blizu familije i to.
Pustit će. Pa čovjek nije zainteresovan da igra džaba.
To je to.
Razumiješ?
Ne možeš forsirati čovjeka.
Izađe na teren i neće da stavi 100%.
Da, sad to vredi.
Tako je, znači morat će ga pustiti.
Da. A sviđa mi se on zna i trojku šutat.
Da.
Veliki, jak, pravi centar, starinski centar. Pravi igrač.
Pokretnije nego Jokić.
Da. Jak je, baš. Znam šta će biti sad.
Evo Jokića u Crnoj Gori sa Vučevićem.
Aha.
Znamo.
Da. Voli vodu Jokić, brate, non stop vodi. Njemu ispane dobro, on igra sezonu u Americi kad je ljeto. Ne, kad je zima. I off-season je stalno u Srbiji, jebi ga ljeto. Perfektno, jebi ga. Koliko si izbacio?
10.
Super.
A vidiš, sam ti ja rekao da znaš i da radiš više repeticija sa tim tim.
Puno više znaš, jel? Ono kad sam prije radio 1 po 2, nije to shit. Umoriš se, ali misliš ništa nije radio.
Kad to uradiš, za 10 dana staviš još 20, sa iste strane vraćaš 5 komada.
Eto vidiš, i koliko to znaš?
100%, onda možeš staviti 10 urati jednom.
Da.
Što je to? Ti, ja vidim, oni ljudi, znaš, kad tako urade jedan pa stanu.
Da.
To je okej. Ali...
Za mali period, ali ne da radiš to sam. Ja kad sam krenuo trenirati, ja sam toga puno radio, taj single.
Da, sjećam se.
I ojačaš ti, razumiješ, ali napredovat tako je jako teško.
Ne, moraš raditi more petition sa
Da.
tegom gdje si comfortable.
Da.
Znaš, ako si ti comfortable sa squat 150,
Da.
radi 20 komada. Razumiješ?
Apsolutno.
I onda,
Nabiješ noge, nabiješ guzicu, nabiješ leđe.
ja bih isto to kad sam vozio biciklom. Ja krenem poslije 20 km, mene noće boli. A ja možem još 80 s takim bolom. Razumiješ? Nije,
Boriš se to.
nije mala stvar, možeš to si bol. Ali onaj mišić, onak...
Da, čisti mišić, da.
Ne, fucking. Ja volim.
I šta to, sat vremena na biciklu sa bolom.
Više. Sat. Po 4 sata.
To je pravi trening, ne.
Lijepo, to ti kažem, ali onda tako i jačaš.
Ja se sjećam kad sam išao na fakultet tamo u Adelaide, onaj, iz Woodvilla, da smo živjeli u Woodville North. Torrens Road, sve tamo preko Aquatic centra, na brdašće. Brali, imamo, evo ovaj bicikl, viš fiksi, to je jedna brzina. Stane na semaforu dolje, na dnu brda. Joj, brale. A nema, auto iza tebe. Guraš, jedna pedala okrećiš. Popneš se gore, nogetina, puna krvi, ne. Puca. Ja ne dobijem taj osjećaj kad radim skot sako.
Ne možeš.
Biciklo je nešto čudno, mene.
Drugačije.
Unbelievable, ne. I stalno možeš sljedeći.
To je to.
Stalno možeš sljedeći, nije ono da...
Ti ne možeš tu.
Ne možeš.
Ti staneš. Ti ne možeš dalje.
Da.
Ti kreneš, padneš, a ovdje još možeš.
Da.
Zato što, razumiješ?
Mhm.
To je dobro. Onda samim tim imaš taj endurance.
Trebao bi ja malo da bicikla više. Nema vremena, toliki trening. A bilo bi dobro od bicikla, ne?
Evo mi, ja volio. Ne može čovjek naći vremena za sve.
Da.
Zato ljudi što se radi bicikl, on samo radi bicikl. Ne ide nigdje drugo.
Da.
Samo na bicikl.
Puno treba vremena. Koliko treba vremena da odeš od kuće do Northland Summita nazad? 3 sata?
Pa,
Tu neći.
pa eto 2, recimo ajde 2.
Da.
Ajde. Ako ćeš 3, onda malo oradiš malo veći luk i staneš popiješ neki kaktus neki. Mi smo prije radili po 4, znači odemo od kuće do Northland Summita, od Northland Summita do Basket Range, Lobetol na Gorge Road, Montague i kući. 4 sata.
Fuck.
Od 6 do 10.
I to subotom, jel?
Ja, subota je nedjelja prije, dok sam jedina evo ne bila malo dok sam bio na Mountain Lakes. To je negdje oko 90 do 100 km.
Wow.
Yeah, good bike ride, man, beautiful.
I nikad nisi pao, nikad se nisi slomio, nikad nisi...
Pao sam.
Da.
Nisam. Ja sam jednom sam na Grange Road.
Na semaforu ili kad si išao? Klic je zabo, a?
Ja, nije. Nego sam išao polako. A vidim auto ispred mene, rekao ne veze, skvizovat ću se ja. I ja odem na onaj gater.
Da.
Kako sam išao gaterom, sad dođe se vratim na asfalt. A znaš kako ono se napravi onaj edge? Kome tanker, ja da se popijem samo i ja pljas, udarim ramenom čovjeku u auto.
Je guma pukla, je se osjekla?
Nije pukla, ništa, samo sam se ja prevrnuo, ne mogu izbaciti s noge, zakačene na pedalu.
Zaglavljen.
I ja puknem dole čovječe, ne znam, možda sam čovjek malo je sa guvernalom i vrata možda odemo, ko zna. Ona žena otvori vrata, you okay? Rekao, I'm okay, but a little bit embarrassed.
Da.
That's fine as long as you're fine. Rekao, no, I'm all good. Ovim putem ja lijevo dježi.
A znaš koliko ljudi dođe na hitnu, pogotovo tako subotom ujutro, nedjeljom ujutro? Koliko puta, ne znam na koje ceste više. Torrens Road je isto gadan. Onaj Unley Road je isto gadan, zato ljudi otvore vrata, parkiraju vrata sa strane, otvore vrata i... Brale, ide, koliko on je na sat? 50 na sat, 40 na sat? Više. Brale, navali se tamo, poguli ruke.
Ako ide down Unley, ako ide piči, on ide preko 40.
Fuck. Možeš pogin tako, jebate. Tu treba vrataš... To me najviše plaši. Ja kad sam išao onom Torrens Roadom, brate, oni kamioni idu pored tebe, milimetar ostane, jebate. Pa jebo da pada ispod onoga, jebate.
Jednom čak jedan zakačio kad smo vozili up in hill. Imao sam onaj kao kabanicu.
Da.
I nije bila u stijelu, nego malo ovako.
Da.
Yeah. Skreću ovako na stranu.
Zamisli da malo više uzeo toga.
Imao semi i...
Fucking hell, man.
Ja mogu u Dominsku Neku provali baciti.
I šta onda sljedeći auto, šta je? Katastrofa, ne?
Naravno. Možda čovjek u zatvora,
Da,
ti možda ostaneš
da jebote.
kako
Disabled, da.
pravo može.
Tako. Moći. O, je još bolje od prvi put. Ti ideš uzbrdo. Više.
Ideš sutra malo na masaža, tur.
Kod babe, one?
Kad lako dođe, ostavimo ovdje bol tu i ovdje.
Aha.
Teže, dobro malo nekako.
Misliš od tegova subotu?
Možda tenis.
Aha.
Ali igraš, razumiješ, nikad se ne razgibaš.
Sam uđeš i...
Igraš, dođeš kući, znaš, moraš malo se možda i strećovat, razumiješ? Nije to, eto, ko onaj Grigor Dimitrov, jedan.
Dimitrov?
Da.
Ko je to?
Ono što igraš sa Janikom. Tenis.
Šta je bilo sa njim?
Pa sigurno ne.
A, Dimitrov, da.
Žao.
Da.
Imao je.
I šta, možda gotova karijera, a?
Pa ne znam, nije.
Zavisi kako se... I gotta get a charger for this phone. It's really running low. Vidiš. Držiš. Zajebano. I'm gonna run out of battery here, boys. Gotta plug this in. Šta ćemo sad? What are we doing here? Alan, this is a very testosterone-fueled chat, politics and lifting. I love it. Nigo, Catalin, Ivan, have you been in Europe since you left your home country from moving to Australia? Unfortunately, I have not. I have not been back. I do want to go back. That's for sure. When is that going to be? I have no idea, man. Hopefully when the kids grow up a little bit, we'll go back. And see the world over there. Oh, 27. Is there a big community of Serbs in your area? I know Australia has a decent amount of us. Stevan, I don't know where you're from. In Adelaide, yeah, there's a, I don't know how much, but I know in...
Around 16,000.
16,000, there you go. I know in Liverpool, there was a lot. Just out of Sydney, that Liverpool, there's a lot of Serbs there, massive community over there. Adelaide's not that big though. What, 1 million people, 1.5 million people, something like that? So if you think to yourself, like 16,000 people is a lot. I feel like most of those people came in the 90s though, after the war.
Yeah, half.
Yeah. It's a lot of people. Stevan, where are you from, man? Are you in Serbia? Stevan in Serbia. Well, it says your name is Stevan in Serbia. You have to be. Moraš i ovo probat, man.
I'll try.
Fuck, it's amazing. Znači, skroz vamo, držiš ruku
I to.
i sam ovako. Kako dobro upali, brate. Oh, fuck. Možeš si ti imaš veliku šaku, ja mislim ti što moći, man. Ako hoš, dropuj malo da.
Probat ću.
To nije arm wrestleri radi, ono, znaš. Aha. Je, možda radi to, nemoj da se umoriš. Svojim. Sabo says, thanks for your insight on how internal rotation exercises help improve athleticism. Helped a lot with my own performances. Yeah, Sabo, this is something that a lot of people don't know in the powerlifting community. I guess powerlifting is a different sport to athleticism. But I learned this information from a guy I used to follow back in the day. He doesn't make content anymore, but he was a sprinter from the UK. And he was teaching, he was like a coach, teaching kids basically sprinting. I think he was nationally ranked in the UK for sprinting. And all he ever said was, you know, Ben Johnson back in fucking whatever, early 90s, the sprinter that got down for steroids, he was really, really big on bilateral leg exercises, squats, deadlifts, that thing, that kind of stuff. Box squats, all that kind of shit. And so he kind of popularized this idea that squats, big heavy squats are going to make you run faster. And so then in the sprinting world, there was like a cultural shift that everyone started doing a whole lot of bilateral work. So like sprinters were squatting a lot and all that kind of stuff, pin squats. And what they found over the following, I don't know, decade or whatever, is that a lot of people struggled to replicate Ben Johnson's efforts, whether because there was a shortage of supplements, these people not using the same stuff as Ben, but they actually got slower with heavy squats. And what eventually came out of that whole thing was that the people that were doing a lot of heavy squats, they were losing hip internal rotation. So it's far more beneficial for sprinters to do lunges. So single leg work trains the hip internal rotation, which is essentially gait of running. So you can do squats if you're interested in running, jumping really quickly, all that kind of stuff, but you must maintain your hip internal rotation. You lose hip internal rotation, you're going to lose hip extension, which, like if you're sprinting and you can't stick your leg out back further, you really, really lose time off of your race. And you know, if you're an athlete, a lot of people get that mixed up. Athlete is athletics, running, jumping. That's what an athlete is. Powerlifters, they call them athletes as well, but they're not actually athletic. They can't run and jump the same level as field athletes, right? So it's something to kind of look into. Don't trust my word for it. You know, look into this whole stuff that I just said. And this is why you see a lot of NBA players, even Jordan. You know, Jordan was pigeon-toed, pigeon foot, right? Like, so he stands with his feet internally rotated like that. And a lot of NBA players are like that. They walk like penguins, right? That's because they have stupid amount of hip internal rotation. They are very strong on one leg. Very, very strong. However, if you take that to the extreme and you don't do any squats, any deadlifts, then you run the risk of ACL injuries. And this is something the research speaks highly of. You know, people that have a lot of hip internal rotation and not a lot of external rotation, they have this pigeon toe, and then you run the risk of ACL tears. So you see a lot of NBA players that shoot the ball like this. They shoot the ball like Kevin Durant, right? Like they're like this. Well, in this position, the knee is unlocked. And the structures, the way the ACL is, you're really exposing the ACLs, right? Think about Derrick Rose, I don't know how many other players, Zach LaVine, all of these guys that are super, super athletic, they have this knee valgus going on. And in this position, even when you squat, your quads become more engaged when you're this way. However, with that comes high risk of knee injury. So there's a lot to kind of balance in there, and everyone should kind of look into themselves and how they want to train and what they want to fix. Stevan in Serbia, lol, funny, I'm not in Serbia, I'm in Canada. Family came in 90s, made the name when I visited back home when I was young. There you go, you're in Canada. In Serbia. Stevan, where exactly are you from in Serbia? Whereabouts? Are you guys actually from Serbia, or? It'd be interesting to know. Your name sounds Serbian. Hoćete spotujem te? Da možeš izbaciti ekstra koji?
10 malo.
10?
Ajde.
Ajde, ajmo vidjeti. Pet. 7, ajde. 8. 9, ajde, još jedna, tu je. Sam, bravo, svaka čast. Super. Svi bolji. Super, man. Oh, shit. Kad radim ovu vježbu, man, osjećam se kao Popeye. Kako nabilda ovo, čovječe. Oh my lord. Sve ovako odavde do ovdje, sve ovo. I onda poslije ovoga radiš onaj pronation. Popucaj ruke. Da, znači stisneš ga ovako, to je arm wrestleri. I držiš ga i onda ovo. I pustiš ga se vrati vamo nazad, znaš. I nazad. Probaj. A možeš ti 18, a probaj, da. Kako? Ima vremena. Da, i sad do prsa ovako tu i držiš. Ne moraš ovako, samo ovako. To, i sad pusti ram, i pusti, tu, i nazad. To. Tako, probaj 20 izbaciti. Ja mislim moći ti još više. 18, 22, tako nešto, tu ćeš biti. Beautiful vježba. Znači ovako? Da, ja držim ovako ovdje, skroz tu. I, to. Tako. To. Super. Još više imaš tu. Motion.
Koliko si radi?
27. Vrat ću još 1, 27 i morat ću spustiti. Neću moći više od toga. Osjećam da će popucat ruke. Fuck. Ima jedan sto, ne znam jesi ikad vidio sto za arm wrestling. Kao bench imaš kao jedne strane, imaš ovako neki setup, cable. Znaš kakve vježbe momci rade, man. To je fucking sve nabijeno ovdje, man. Volio je malo to, sad im se zjebavam, taj arm wrestling. Interesantno izgleda. To su jaki ljudi.
ima neki visok, nije puno jak, mršav, sve je. Vidiš da je jak, ali ne navijen. Neki Rusi ima dobar isto.
Ja, puno Rusa ima, rade to oko ludi, meni. Rusi voli taj arm wrestling i to sve.
Treba da rade, oni rade.
O, je, Rusi su fucking u svemu dobri.
Rade vježbe ludačke.
Mom from Belgrade, dad from Kosovo. There you go.
Okay.
So blame them, laugh at. So technically I'm Albanian too. You know, said on subject, look, we need...
Sam 5 kila.
I odmah upao.
Ne mogu da vjerujem. Znaš kako je teže?
Da. Jel osjećaš mišić, jel?
Kako da ne?
Je. Fucking beautiful, man.
Sam 5 kila.
Da.
Vidio kurac.
Tako. Znaš koliko ti to pomogne nekad jačaš to malo? Kad ideš u bench press, jači ti nekako, svu snagu što napraviš iz prsa i ruka nekako ide bolje u... Tako, Andrej.
Ja moram trčat se sa mandarina.
A,
I nije,
neće biti jednostavno.
mandarinu jednu ruku od džemperinu. Imam balans ću napraviti.
Metu gaće.
Da. Neko će misli da imam kornjaču već.
Oh, man, beautiful.
Viš koliko te male vježbice mogu čovjeku da pomogu.
Šta?
Pa te, zajebance.
Da, o, je.
A ko to radi? Otiđi u džim. To.
Da. O, sve generalno, ono, ljudi ne znaju. Vidio sam jednoga momka, brale, u džimu, ne znam kako se zove, dalje on Rus, odakle on. Vidjeli smo kad smo išli golje ne Mantlofti, Marijaltis, ja Sofija, djeca išli malo šetiti. Vidio ga na putu, pak, ej, Jesse, kaže, fuck, ti odi skore vide van. A pričao sam sa njim možda 6 mjeseci ranije. Samo trenira arm wrestling. I on nešto tako radi na cable, nije on radi neki teg u džimu, samo u cable se nešto radi bez ide. Ja prišao njemu i kažem, fuck man. I lomen prišao. Ne znam kako smo krenuli. Ja mu kažem, šta ti treniraš? Šta je to, brate? Šta neke kerpeke radiš? Kaže, I'm wrestling night. I pokaže me par vježbi. Brale, rekao, šta li je ovo? Normalan lig, ali ovo je, vidi se da je jeben. Vidi se. On kaže meni, arm wrestling je jako interesantan sport, pošto nije sve u mišiću. Nego šaka, ruka, ovo, to su ti neki ligamenti, tendoni, što trebaju dugo vremena da ojačaju. Tendon i ligament nema baš puno krvi, suplaja, i onda teško ga razviti. I tehnika, znaš, evo pokazuju mi neke par stvari. Tad sam ja imao bolova sa laktom.
To može samo da strečuješ.
On je, joj, nisam ti ne pokazao onaj rising, fucking rising, man. Fucking, ima još jedna vježba. Zove se rising. Znači, to je, da nas vide, znači, to je, uzmu ovako kaiš, ovako, i ovo. Znači, to on zove, znači, kad radiš wrestling, ko može ovo uraditi i ovo pobjedi. Pošto slomiš ga, slomiš mu, da. I on kaže meni, ovo je, zove, ne znam kako on to zamota s rukom, i ovako. Znači, on kad radi bicep kills, on uzme ovako kaiš i ovo radi, ovako.
Digne ga gore.
Znači ovaj ovdje mišić.
Da.
Probaj, man. To je nešto unbelievable. Znači isti kurac kod dumbbell, samo držiš u šaki. I prelješ ga preko ovoga. Kako drugčije, jel? Da je. To je ta specialized shit. What was that like to set up? Enough for the subject. Look, we need kindness in the world. You think that arm wrestling training will help with carpal tunnel? I might try and see if it helps, man. Stevane, man, I really think if you got any trouble with wrist or elbow, man, I fix my fucking elbows with arm wrestling training. Pronation, supination, rising, too heavy. Probaj
that's fine.
čekić. Isti kurac, sa čekićem. Isto pravo, man. To. Isto kao da lupaš čekićem. To je to. To je rising. To je ekstra, man. Super. Bloody beautiful, man. Ja sam to fucking radio sa djecom, pričao sam ti. Gledam televizor, radim to.
I'm gonna go and buy one. 4 LB. Bionics. I'll go and buy one tomorrow.
You have a referral code for Bells of Steel AU? Rigor mortis rex. It's interesting you say that. Bells of Steel is not very happy with me as of recently, man. So that code is not really, it's not going to be useful for you, man. The guys of Bells of Steel were not very happy with some of the comments I made recently about some of the things. And they messaged me on Instagram and they said, look, man, respectfully, we don't want to align ourselves with somebody with those views. And I said to them, no worries, mate. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything. And that was it. So as of now, I'm not really sponsored by Bells of Steel anymore. It's happened this morning. I got the message. I don't know why they feel that way. I don't really know the intricacies. Whether it's the video on my views on fact acceptance or Andrew Tate or whatever else I said about creatine or whatever, all the recent stuff that I recently said, I don't think they were very happy with it. And, whatever, each to their own. But I've always maintained that I'm going to be truthful to myself and my beliefs. And if that makes me fall out with certain people, then that's so be it. So that Bells of Steel code or my allegiance with them is, I don't think any longer active as of this morning. So that might change. Hopefully they rethink that, but I am never going to change my views on anything according to some monetary gain or some ideas that are conflicting. The fellas from Bells of Steel have always been nice to me. They've always been respectful and whatever. Even the guy that messaged me today, he was like, we discussed some of the ideas that you portrayed on those videos recently, and we don't think it's something that we're going to align ourselves with, and that was it. And I was like, okay, no worries, man, all the best, and we don't have to be on the same path with some of these ideas, and that was it. So I don't actually have a code for Bells of Steel anymore. It's interesting you said that just now. What's the gym membership price at my place? 0, man. There's no membership here. Family is 0, man. Absolutely 0. No way that happened to me. That's crazy. It's not like you said the equipment is bad. Stevane, yeah, I don't know. Look, I understand the pressures of peer pressure. I understand they have a company to run, and if they think that I'm being politically someone that is in opposition to them, so be it. But I still stand by everything I said. Like, I didn't mince my words at all. I don't know whether they just read the title and didn't watch the video. I don't know. But I'm proud of my beliefs and what I think. And if that means that Bells of Steel and I divorce completely forever, so be it. But like I always said, I always maintained, I will never change my character because of an allegiance with a company or a product or whatever. I've got nothing to say bad about them, obviously. They've really taken care of me ever since, God knows, I don't know when, started this year or even earlier, probably even earlier. Middle of last year, I think. They've been great. The fellas that have been in communication with me the whole time have been amazing. And yeah, this morning I wake up and they were like, you know, Ivan, we don't see the same in some of these things that you've posted. And he actually said, like, up until now, like, we really supported the opinions and the views that you had, but up until recent videos, we really don't like what you've said. And they didn't even say it that way. They just said, after discussion with the team, we've decided that we don't want to be aligned with you anymore. And that was it. And I basically said 3 words to them. Thanks, mate. No worries. And that's it. Yeah, brands always play it super safe. Yeah. Whatever, man. It's up to them. Look, I have no bad feelings. Like, I'm using, this is Bells of Steel. Great equipment. I got nothing too bad to say about them. Everything that I said up until now is it's true. Like, I'm not going to be getting rid of any of this stuff. They might contact me and they might say, hey, can you remove some of the signage of Bells of Steel, like that belt, or can you block the... I'm happy to do that for them as well. If they really think I'm some sort of a demon when it comes to my views on politics, and probably the Russia versus Ukraine opinion, probably that pissed them off as well. And that's fine. Like, we don't have to, you know, agree with everything. I have my political ideas and views, and I come from maybe a different part of the world. But if you don't like what I have to say, then we don't have to be partners. Oh. Do you think it's worth it putting your opinion out there online? Do you think it is worth it putting your opinion online? Listen, man, a lot of people who can probably get away with just not being truthful to themselves and just, you know, play it safe constantly and just run away from difficult conversations. When you have a little bit of influence, when you have a little bit of people following you, when you become a parent, like I said to you before, I've got a son now that's 9 years old that's asking me questions about all sorts of different things. And so when you don't have kids and you can just be a loner and just worry about yourself, that's fine. But when you start having kids and they start asking questions and you have a bit of an influence, whether it be at the school or the basketball team or on YouTube or in your local gym or whatever, I think it's very much so in your best interest to verbalize your thoughts and your opinions, because if the world is going in a direction that you don't want it to go and you are just silent on the side, how are you not contributing to the problem? There needs to be resistance, you know, in the world. Otherwise, we're all just sheep running around. My ideas on some of these things are painful for some to hear and divisive, I understand, but I truthfully believe in it. I think that 2/3 of the globe being overweight is appalling and disgusting, and I will never accept that. That cannot be the norm. And all of this fat acceptance movement and everyone can be healthy at every size, to me, makes no sense to me. Masculinity ideas about what it is to be a man in the 21st century and all of that, I still stand by that. What else did I say? Andrew Tate has said some good things to say. Many things are wrong. Why can't I say these things? Why can't I say what I like saying? If that still punishes me and I get repercussions on my channel, so be it. But that doesn't change the fact that I believe in this stuff. And you know what they say? What is the saying in philosophy? If you don't stand for anything, you will fall for everything, or something to that effect. I don't quite remember exactly how it goes, but I believe in that, man. Gone are the days where you can have an opinion on something without it coming back to haunt you. Christian. it's not that it's going to haunt me, man. It's just there are repercussions for your opinions. That you will always have, people that disagree. Even if I said, let's say the opposite, well, maybe the opposite is probably the better thing to say, where you say, yeah, it's okay. Everyone should be just happy, and everyone can have 50 donuts, and everyone can be 200 kilos, and it's okay. We accept everyone and anything, and you can do whatever you want to do. That's not me. And now that I have children, I have to have some sort of character and credibility. It's not just you guys that are watching me, but my kids will be watching me one day and be like, okay, Dad, like you're telling me one thing and you're doing another thing. So you can't fraud your way through life your whole life. You're going to have to pick a position and stand and defend it. Another woke brand. Look, I don't know. I don't know if they're woke or not or what's going on, but what they said to me was, we don't want anything to do with you anymore, and that's it. Whether they're going to come back and say, look, we've looked into some of these videos a little bit more and we think you're all right or not, I'm not sure. But as it stands, to be honest with you, I wasn't even going to say anything, but it's interesting you asked me that about Bells of Steel code, and I've got no code now, and all of this stuff, I'm not supported anymore. So I'm not affiliated with anyone. And you guys know I was very, very picky who I was going to affiliate myself with. Bells of Steel were the only ones that I said yes to. And even that has gone pear-shaped. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to be just, on my own. Which is fine. I'd rather be alone and have my own thoughts and my own character stay intact than try and mold my way through life, path of least resistance so I get something out of it. Nah. I'm the character that will die by the sword. That's me. Jesam. Možda I bolje za mene. Osjećam se jak. Oh man, it's so good.
Mene se gledao, če sam se najviše odmorio danas, šta me najviše bolno što sam radio. Šta misliš? A najlakše?
Možda ovo?
Čekić.
Fucking hell, man.
Znaš kako me ruka dojela?
Tuda, jel?
Ja. Rekao, otkinut će se nešto, fucking moram.
Ja kad gledam one momke kad rade bench press, ima jedan zove se Julius Maddox, crnac, mrcina iz Amerike. Fucking on benchuje 350 kila. A on je isto tako neđe 160 kila, veliki momak. Ovo, kao od konja, to je toliko jako razvijeno, buckasti on. A ja mislim u glavi, rekao, zajebi ti ovo, nego kako on to drži u šaci, jel? Znaš ti kakav to kilažan?
To je sve jako, i kosti, mišići, ligamenti, sve.
Nije samo mislim u prsima, bravo, ja ne bi to mogao držati ovako, da samo da držiš ovako, ne možeš.
To ti kažem, ja isto da stavim 200 kila na leđe, da sam stojim, ne mogu.
Da.
Slomilo.
Interesantno. Da li mozak osjeti nešto će puknut pa pušta, ne znam. Ne znam.
Moj mozak je čudo.
Oh, they're woke. Looking at some of their mugs on the website now. How good you are, there is always going to be people who dislike you or disagree with you. It's just how it is. The brighter you shine, the more shadows you cast. James, that is excellent. If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything. James, spot on, man. You know this shit better than me, man. That's exactly right. Kako dobro, jel? It's true.
Yeah.
If you don't stand for something, you fall for everything.
That's it, that's true.
Fucking, that's beautiful, man. That's exactly what it is. You can't be a fucking piece of wind in the sky. You need to have some sort of character. And I'll tell you something. if you stand for something and you defend it until death, you will have respect. You will have character. People will be, okay, Ivan stands for fucking something. He's not just a pushover. It's in your best interest to be like that. Even if you're going to get criticism, if you're going to get, that's what leadership is. Not that I want to be a leader or whatever. Well, I do want to be a leader of my own family. I want my son to look at me and be like, fuck, Dad's pretty good. I'm going to listen to him. It's important to have a clear message consistently through your life, because if you don't, you become a pushover and nobody respects you. You become nothing. And James, that was excellent that you spotted it perfectly. It's not even walk versus no walk issues. Brands are risk averse. They have mouths to feed. No matter how good you are, there is always going to be people who dislike you, disagree with you. That's true. They call themselves bells of steel and don't have balls of steel to accept someone. Oh, they're woke, looking at some of their mugs. For example, famous athletes with lots of influence and pressure, would you think it would be worth it for them to speak on opinions? You shouldn't lose sponsors based on anything related to sponsors. It's either you support the brand or not, who care about you. Those personal lives. Whatever, man. Whatever. People make decisions and that's it. I'll tell you something else. I remember Michael Jordan in the documentary, there was talk about him not supporting an African American politician that was fighting to be the first black, is a statesman or governor or whatever in North Carolina, I think it was where he's from. And he, this is when Jordan in the 90s was flying, he was the most popular athlete, whatever, and he didn't want to endorse this African American. And when they pushed him and asked him, why aren't you doing this? And he said, both liberals, I don't know how they do it in America, both Labor and liberal, or I can't remember in America, both sides of the spectrum in America buy my shoes. I don't want to upset anybody. So in business, it's probably your best bet to just be in the middle and not to talk politics, because Jordan was like, I don't want to piss anybody off. I want everyone to buy my shoes. And he copped a lot of criticism from the African American community because he didn't want to support his people. But each to their own, man. Ideš, man. Ideš sad trčati? Ideš trčati?
Hoću govno. Ne mogu, moram nositi ove...
Pa kako šta?
Pojim polako, pješke. Prošlo, to je dobro.
Da se instalirao?
Da, super.
Ajde, vidimo se, man. Možeš sutra ponovo isto? Dođi, isto vrijeme tako. Ja završavam posao u 3:30.
Odlično, super.
Čim dođe kući u 4, dođi, man, pićemo ponovo.
Važi.
Alright, man, ajde. Ćao, man. I'll go 14%, I'll got something. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see him on TV for sure. All right. Ćao, man. Vidimo sutra. All right, boys. I think this should be a little bit filled now. 50%. Bloody beautiful, mate. Look at that. All right, let's time to warm up. Warm up all hips. And then we'll... Then we will do some squats, mate. Let's get in position with this thing. You gotta love it, man. Life is beautiful, mate, when you sit on a machine like this and everything makes sense. Philosophy comes easier to you. You become one with your nature. Oh. Well, hold on a minute. So I've kind of gone away from I've gone away from like pumping a shit ton of volume with this, and I just kind of I've taken the approach of lifting a bit heavier with this. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh my God, that's so good. Woke and its detractors and distractions, the real issue remains class. Many don't see it, but it also reasserts itself. Do we think Novak is going to beat Sinner in the semis of Wimbledon? Sadly, no. Sinner too young and too good for Novak as of right now. Yeah, I doubt Novak can get him, man. I really doubt he can get him. Sinner's in his prime, man. He's flying right now. Really flying. What do you bloody do, mate? You do the best you can. That's what you do. Over. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. Oh my God. Oh, fuck, cramp. Oh, I cramped up. I tried to spread my legs to unload the machine so I can move the pin, but that really grabbed me a little bit. Oh. Where are you from geographic point of view? Like as in right now? I'm in Australia. Sam, what's happening, man? Your legs are sore. Nice, man. You've done something well. Program snatch. No, I've never done snatch high pulls, man. Never. Hey, bro, what's your opinion about cold showers? I like them. I did a lot of it back in the day. I did something like 6 months straight of just cold showers. I never touched the hot water ever. Cold, walk in, hyperventilate, do the shower, do your shampoo, whatever the hell, the whole time cold. The whole 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is, cold. Even through the winter I did that. It was good, felt good. Makes you mentally tougher. To have that real discomfort every single morning is hard bloody work. But it toughens you and you kind of just, you become more resilient, I think. Whether it's good for the immune system and all that other stuff, I'm not sure. I did it for like the mental challenge. I quite enjoyed it. But the only thing that I didn't like about it is that it changed your thermostat. It literally changed my idea of what's hot and what's cold. And so that led to a lot of, not arguments, but a lot of back and forth with the wife about the air conditioner. It's cold and I'm there burning up, you know. That was funny. But yeah, other than that, it's all good. Have I read about Sinner and his whole... Yeah, I know about what's happened. I don't know the intricacies of it. I know he kind of got caught and he paid like a really small price for it. Oh, it's really raining now. But yeah. I've always wondered, do you think Novak is on PEDs? I think he is. No way you perform at that level without, at that age. My mom thinks he's natty because he's a vegetarian, vegan. I say no way. Stefan, I don't think so, man. I think Novak is he's got a lot of issues. Like when he was a youngster, he had a lot of sensitivities to food and a lot of different, I don't know if you guys can even hear me. a lot of sensitivities to a lot of different foods. So I doubt he would go ahead and inject something as PEDs into the system when he even has trouble with bloody tomatoes. I think he had like some like real sensitivity to tomatoes. He would get inflammation in the gut and all sorts of trouble. He follows a very, very strict diet, very, very strict everything. He's got a lot of health sensitivities to a lot of different foods. So to think that he'll go and inject something, I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Oh, audio is good. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me know, Rex. Heavy rain in Egypt. Oh, dude, you know it. Listen to it. Bloody beautiful. Bloody beautiful, mate. So I've got 10% left on the camera. So I've got time pressure now to finish the squats. Oh. All right. That was 50, 60, 70. Let's do some squats now. 10% left of the battery. I didn't prepare well today. I've not prepared well. The camera is at the end of it. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. Actually, where's my phone? A little bit of this and a little bit of that. And Bob's your uncle. Oh, yeah. All right. Hey. Bloody beautiful, mate. Oh. What's going on, boys? Stevan, I highly doubt it too, but I'm skeptical, especially in today's day and age. Money he's earning in the tennis player he's ever got tested. Now look how fast he comes from injuries. I mean, Stevan, you know, I've got no idea. Look, I'm not in his camp. Only these people know. I've had similar thoughts about LeBron James, Michael Jordan, all these kind of characters. Who really knows? I mean, these people are top tier athletes, goats of the game. They've got so much power and influence and so many interests supporting them. Who knows, ultimately? Overeat or overwork? Oh man, I'm in the overwork camp for sure. Sam, run the fan for a few hours before sleep. Pretty cool room a bit. Oh my God, Sam, you're talking about being too hot and I'm too cold. Doesn't that kind of explain everything? Opposite side of the globe. Opa! Opa, opa, opa. How do I, 7%, holy shit. How are we gonna do this? Boys, I might have to unplug the microphone just for a second. I gotta juice up the phone a bit. So, apologies, the sound's gonna be terrible for a little bit. You can still hear me, I think. But the phone's about to die. And I'm not ready to finish. Can you boys still kind of hear me? It's kind of shitty, I know. But can you hear me at all now? I've just unplugged the damn thing so it doesn't die on us. You can hear us? Beautiful. The thing will die in 2 seconds, like if I don't do this. So 5-10 minutes, I'm sure it's gonna give us enough juice so we can continue. All right. Let me hit this 160. Oh, I gotta come up to the screen so you guys can see me a little bit, or hear me rather. I'd like to hear your thoughts on using marijuana. Personally, it's helped me with the bulk and naturally with my lifts. Just curious, I'm 18. My friend, I've never tried it. I've never dabbled in any of this stuff. I've never done any of that stuff, so I'm not the best person to talk to in terms of like, God, this is what it says. I'm gonna tighten this up. Yeah, I'm anti-drugs, obviously, dude. Like, I have trouble taking protein powder and freaking pre-workout, let alone marijuana and some of this other stuff. I know there's a lot of people that are pro-marijuana. I personally, from what I've seen from my experience, is marijuana before you are fully formed, as in your brain fully forms, can be very, very bad. There's a higher incidence of schizophrenia, psychosis, depression, all of that stuff can happen if you do marijuana before whatever it is, I don't know, 25 for men or something like that, I don't know. A lot of people get a lot of value out of it, obviously I know that, but if there's a risk of mental health disorders as a result of doing weed, I'm against it. Like I'm never gonna say I'm pro marijuana. So. Alright, you guys can see. $180. Another 180. Bloody beautiful, mate. Feeling really good and sweaty. Recently, even though I'm not really pushing squats, squats are bloody feeling me, mate. Alright, how much juice do you reckon I've got on the phone now? How much? 13. 13, eh? Bloody percent, eh? You guys will see what I'm doing here. This is for a nation, this is too light. Too light, mate. Need some more bloody weight on this. Where is the kettlebell? Kettlebell. You guys see the kettlebell? Hello? Where is it? Where is it? The kettlebell. Ah, in the bloody corner. I need a little bit more weight on this thing. David, college is always a lot going on, so gains is not on your top priority, as you know. Try to train more 4 days a week, which is more often than, it's a little work. Actually, I says, as a follower for almost 4 years, I've always wondered how you stayed consistent. I'm a college student and I aspire getting into routine. Have you found that same struggle? I mean, I wasn't doing this during college, man. I started getting this consistent, like at least on YouTube here, doing this stuff when I became a father. That really kind of motivated me, inspired me to go and chase my dreams, my beliefs. That's kind of when the seed was planted for me to kind of do whatever I wanted and pursue my beliefs and my logic, which is part of the reason why you see me talk about things truthfully without any fear of repercussions, losing sponsors or whatever the case might be. I'm true to myself. I know that that's the course I need to take for my happiness. If I lose friends on the way, if I lose sponsors on the way, if I lose acquaintances on the way, so be it. You have to stay true to yourself. And part of that for me was also expressing that in my training. Not follow things because somebody else said it or somebody else wrote it. Follow things that make sense to me and things that I want to try, experiment, do. Even if it's crazy to somebody, I'll fucking do it. I don't give a shit. And that autonomy really meant a lot to me, in progressing through this journey of training every day, because it really is my art. It's my performance. I do it the way I do it, and I'm not reliant upon somebody else's decision making. And I really thrive in an environment like that. I found I really love the idea of, doing it my way, and that's a large part of this. Really, really large part of this. It's too low. All right, this is gonna be bloody hard, I think. 30. That is so heavy, man. That is so freaking heavy. Ooh, 20%. I reckon we're good, boys. Here, let me get this sorted now, so we can go back to normal proceedings. All right, boys, can you hear me now? Hopefully this is working now. I've never really swapped and changed in the middle of the stream. Is it good now? If it's good now, we can continue on. Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Is it good? Josh, are you talking to me or is it good? Hopefully you guys can hear me now. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Stefan. Beautiful. As soon as I do this, boom, the message comes up for 20% battery left. All right. Core work is important for everything, I would say. Do you think it's important to train core for footballers, soccer players, field sports, or does it really matter and focus on full body movement with the core? Nah, Sabo, man, like the core is extremely important, man. It's the basis for everything. But I think, you know, there needs to be a definition of what core really is. Like, core is not just abs. There's a lot more going on. I think core is also kind of closely linked with your pelvis and your pelvic floor and all the rest of that. Lateral hips, hip flexors, there's a lot going on. So like when people say core, they just kind of diminish it to just simple, you know, anterior abdomen. But there's a lot more going on. The core is much more encompassing than that. And you need to train it in such a way that kind of replicates what you're doing. So like if you're a footballer, soccer player, basketball player, a lot of single leg stuff, a lot of like, you know, anti-rotation stuff is great. Simply just, you know, getting on the floor and doing, you know, your freaking crunches and whatever planks, that's not really what is going to be required. Core is a lot. Like when you do squats and deadlifts, that's core. It doesn't get that core exercise tag, but that's a lot of core. You know, walking out a freaking super maximum squat and without squatting it obviously and just holding it there, that is probably the most intense core exercise I've ever tried. You know, I remember once doing a pin squat with 300 kilos. You know, I was moving it about this much, like a hand width so I wasn't really squatting it, but I was just wanted to like bear against an immovable object. And that was insane. I ended up pulling some sort of like lat, rhomboid, freaking upper back muscle, which I don't even know what it was. And so, you know, when people tell me to do like dragonflies and freaking the human flag and all that, I get that. Look, that is excellent. But there's nothing to me, at least, than absolutely, you know, bearing down with Mike Tyson running up to try and hit you. That to me is core. Bearing against a 300 kilo squat, like that is insanity. That is immense core. You know, or trying to do something like the heaviest possible suitcase carry. Dude, that is, you will rip on the side. Like it's just insanity what's going on. And not just the core, this is like what I'm saying. It's the hips, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's not just, you know, what people say, it's just the core. It's not just like that. Alrighty. I want to do this a few more times. But it's a bit tricky to set this up. I kind of planned this in my mind a little bit differently. All right. Oh man, that is so good. Fuck. Destruction. Did I get my 23 today? No. Nope. Still not there yet. Really shows you how depleted I am from just one sickness. Straight away, man, I lose like bloody 10%, 20%. I got 20 today. 2018, 16, I think I got today. Yeah. Still gotta wait, gotta be patient. There's no way, two ways about it. You know? Oh man. All right, I'm gonna do one more of this. I love this. This is amazing. One more set of this. Oh, fuck. Oh my God, that is brutality. Heavy IDLs destroy my core and my glutes. I don't know why, but my hamstrings are fine. Does that mean strong hams or weak hams or stronger muscle take over? Wow. Hamstrings are okay in IDLs. What did you say hurts? Destroys your core. Well, I mean, yeah, maybe the core is the rate limiting step. I don't know. Like I find like with RDLs, if you go like extend the range of motion to the end range of the hamstrings, that really destroys the hamstrings. Like that length, you need to get long. It just depends how you do it. Obviously, like technique is a thing here as well. Without having seen you do it, I don't know. I'm just talking about in generalities here. But yeah, maybe your core's weak. Maybe your form is not great. Yeah, a lot goes on. Like for instance, when I do block pulls or when I do rack pulls below the knee, I don't feel my hamstrings at all. I feel a lot of lower back and a lot of core. So what does that tell you? Well, one thing is that the hamstring is not in the long position. If you really stretch out that bar and you touch your ankles with that bar in an RDL, like in a deficit RDL, man, I'll be very surprised that you don't get your hamstrings smashed to bits. All right, I'm gonna leave it here for this. I think I've done enough. Let me finish off with some of this 73 business. All right, my old friend, I'm back. I'm back with you. How long? Oh, deficit deadlifts? Fuck, probably 2 years. I've not done deficit deadlifts in a long time. Long time. All right. I love this machine, man. This machine, if I had to pick, is my favorite. Oh, yeah, it's my favorite. I love the row. The row is freaking amazing as well. And I love that thing as well. Probably the least favorite is the incline, but I also like the incline as well. I'm so happy about this. Fucking worth every penny, man. Such an easy way to train the adductors. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Oh, that is a killer. Oh, straight after the set. Squatting every day is healthy. There you go. I love it. I just wonder why everyone is so black and white. Why does the world seem black and white to some people? Squatting every day is unhealthy. Tell that to like the Indians and the African tribes and the third world countries, some of the Asian countries. Tell that to like all these people that squat to sit. Just everyone that lives in the third world, tell them, the billions of people that are squatting to eat their food, tell them it's unhealthy. That's right, Stefane. It's right. It's better to sit every day. Oh, man, it's so good. Hey, man, what you're doing is shit. Get back in the house and sit on the couch. Thanks for that positive influence, man. Thank you so much. We need more people like you, right? We need more people to tell people to exercise less. I love it. Oh, that's what I mean, man. You can't be a people pleaser, dude. Just, if you have a vision, if you have something you want to chase, do it, man. Because if you listen to everybody that's got a mouth, you're not going to get anywhere because everyone's conflicting everyone. You have a brain, think about situations, make your own judgment calls, and take the direction that you want to take. You will get more love that way. You will get more true support that way. You will fall into a natural groove with people that agree with you, and you'll walk the earth with allies. But if you just please everyone, everyone's going to look at you like a weak character and not a leader. Like, you can't please everyone. It's impossible. Literally, it is impossible. Anthropology. 48 hours after muscle group. If you absolutely annihilate that muscle, then it's 48 hours for sure. But why are you implying that I'm annihilating myself every day? You're missing a key scientific ingredient in your assumption, in your conclusion. Who said anything about sets, reps, and volume? Who said about the weight? You're just implying that I'm dying every single day, which is incorrect, my friend. Don't assume before you know. All right. I'm a happy camper. I'm a happy camper now. David, yeah, that's it. After 4 singles, I must rest. It's way too much, man. You're going to die. You will die under such sheer volume of work. The hell is wrong with you, man? What is wrong with you, brother? Oh, man. Clean up a little bit. Get it all nice and ready for tomorrow's session. All right. All right, my fellow brothers and sisters. I doubt any sisters are in here, in this chat. We've got to take that. Turn off the lights. Bob's your bloody uncle, mate, eh? Bob is your uncle. Good old Bob. All right, my boys. That's all I got for you tonight. I got to get out of here, get in the house, and recover. 48 hours now. It's going to be a long resting period. Those 4 singles have absolutely worn me out. I must go now and retire for 48 days, bed rest. No rants, delicate Ivan tonight. Oh, you probably missed some of the rants. I did a bit of ranting. Seems like a lot of these rants are getting me in trouble, man. I'm losing bloody all sorts of people's opinions. I appreciate you boys that are here. I really do. It really is. These lives are really awesome to me. Even though I'm getting a lot of heat, I seem to be getting a lot of bloody heat from a lot of people about all these different takes. But I don't mind. I don't mind telling people exactly what I truly think. The fellas that are here, appreciate you. I'll see you guys maybe in the comments in some of the clips that I make at some point. I'll probably do this exactly the same time tomorrow. So rewind 2 hours, wherever you are, that's when I'll start. And we'll go from there. All right, guys. Appreciate you all. Catch you in the next one.